Hi Leo, how are you guys? Welcome to Blacklight Tarot. I totally forgot that last time I did a reading for you guys was back in June. So I am going to do another reading for you just to catch you up with everybody else. I'm so sorry guys. What I'm going to start doing, I've explained this to other signs, but I will let the Leos know as well. I am doing request-based readings because I am finding that the people that are here supporting me, they're not getting their readings as much because I'm trying to get to everybody all the time, and not all signs support me as much as others. That's kind of been a pattern throughout my entire channel, is certain signs at different periods like really go hard for me while other signs don't. The first sign to really like take my channel, it was the first sign that ever broke 1,000 views for me. They took my channel to the next level. I finally got monetized because of them, was Sagittarius. Sagittarius really went hard for me for a while. Right now is the Aquarius. Aquarius are really supporting me and showing out for me. So they're going to get more readings. They're going to get more attention from me because it's a mutually beneficial relationship. So the signs that are not being requested, that are not getting views, I'm not going to focus as much on them. So I am going to do a reading for you guys, like I said, because it's been a while. And then from now on going forward, if you want another Leo reading, or if you want a reading for another one of your signs, you want a collective reading, just comment and let me know. And I will get to the people that are actually requesting the readings. So anyways, Leo, I just released 3 new smudge sprays and updated one of my old smudge sprays. I brought them so I could show you, and you can't see them. I have a Dream Protection, Ghost Chaser, and Fiery Wall. These don't have their crystals in them yet because I need to let the spray speak to me and tell me what sort of crystal. All of my sprays have crystals, so I redid my earth just because it's my most popular. The other elemental sprays, I still have labels, the old labels, so when I run out of those, I'm going to replace them. I am somebody that is I prefer to be as sustainable as possible. I really hate waste, and I know that that's a Capricorn thing, and I have a Capricorn stellium. I really hate wasting things. I can't help it, and it's a problem for me because sometimes I hoard stuff that like I don't even like it. This is a big problem for me with like a bathroom stuff. So some of you might be like in this energy where you have like shampoo that's terrible for your hair. You have like, I've been trying to get rid of stuff, but I'm really bad with like, I want to use it up before I get rid of it because I feel guilty getting rid of something with products still in it. So that's my vibe with that. That's part of the reason I'm transitioning to Blacklight Tarot instead of Glow Stick Tarot, because the single-use plastic, I feel terrible with single-use plastics. Those were glow sticks I already had for the other signs. I'm going to transition to Blacklight because this is much more sustainable. Anyways, Dream Protection, I do have the crystals ordered. They will be in before I start shipping out these. These are my personal use. I like sanitize and secure everything. So if you guys see me with like an oil, handling it without gloves, that is a personal collection that's used for a photo. It's not it's not ones that I'm sending to customers. Anyways, I have a Fiery Wall, Dream Protection, and Ghost Chaser. I'm really excited about them. They will have crystals in them, you hear? The Earth has Tiger's Eye, Charged Tiger's Eye. All of them will have crystals. I know which crystals I am putting in one of them. The other 2, I tentatively know, but I want to connect with their energy more. This is how I work. Yes, I connect with, I connect with nature spirits. This is how people that aren't root workers don't understand. Well, how do you know who is the one that determined that this lavender is good for sleep and is protective, good for peace, good for harmony, good for blessing your home? How do you know? Lavender told people that that's how it wants to be used. Literally, everything has a vibration. Everything has an energy and everything speaks a language. You know, animals too. Animals speak a language if you know how to tap in and listen to them. So my essential oils, I was talking to my essential oils earlier today. Does that sound like I have a mental health issue? Of course. But I'm a shaman, so, you know, shamans don't really believe in mental health problems. Shamans believe that there is a spiritual reason for every sort of malfunction within your body, within your mind, within your psyche. It can be explained spiritually. All right, anyways, I'm waiting for the sprays to communicate with me what crystal works best for them, which crystal they want to combine their energy with, because it's a little like relationship in here. And with these three, I know I talk for forever. Somebody might be wanting to get into, you know, working with roots. With these three, these have tinctures in them too. So I actually, the essential oils that I have did not encapsulate the vibrations that I needed, especially for Ghost Chaser. Ghost Chaser, a lot of the herbs that chase away evil spirits are not going to be found in essential oils. So I have to make tinctures with them with the different herbs, and I have to work with those herbs and ask them. And some herbs really don't like to work with each other, and some herbs work differently with different people. Rue is one. That rue can be used for all sorts of things, but rue has to like you as a person before it'll work with you. Rue is evil eye, shielding, spell breaking, protection, love, money. If Rue doesn't like you, it's not going to do shit for you. That's how, like, all nature spirits, if they don't like you, you know, people talk about the fae won't work for you. An essential oil is not going to work for you if you don't respect it, and if you don't take the time to get to know it, especially not as a root worker, you know. Anyways, 10 minutes into the reading, if it's in channeled messages, I find that ramblings hold keys and secrets and hidden knowledge for the people that need it. And if you don't understand it, especially if you find it agitating, it's not for you. If a reading is agitating, it's not your reading. You don't vibrate with it. And I don't mean to, well, this isn't truly the case. It's not a vibration for you. I was going to say, oftentimes when a reading is agitating, a lot of times your vibration is lower, but that's not necessarily true, because there are some readers that they have a really bad, I believe that they're false prophets. I believe that they are terrible energy, and they aren't truly tapped in, and their readings are agitating for me. So there's a vibrational disconnect, and it might be that somebody's truth is not your truth. Not all truth is, we won't get into it. The world is not black and white. It's really not. Gray, especially when you get into the spiritual realm. Spiritual realm, a lot of it's gray, you know? Okay, you're going to be getting good news. Something that happened in June is going to be circling back towards you. You do need to pay attention to your health right now. For some of you, you're dealing with an older woman. There's an older woman involved. And someone's trying to come in between you and your other relationships. So it's a you and a friend, or something that you want. So it might be that either somebody is coming in between you and a relationship with an older woman, or there's an older woman that tries to come in between your relationships with your friends, or what you want. So you want, you know, to build a career, you want to build a business, you have, your soul is pulling you towards something, and there's an older woman around you. For those of you that there's the older woman trying to influence you and cause blockages for you, this is somebody that uses their health to do it. So their health has been compromised in some way, and they kind of use their health to take advantage of you. You know, they know that there is somebody that, you know, they don't want you to date this person. They don't want you to be friends with this person. Anytime they know you're going to be hanging out with that person, all of a sudden they have a health issue. It's like that sort of energy. Deep friendship with someone of the same sex coming up at the bottom of the deck. April, and then hard work ahead. So I do get that whoever this older woman is, there is an energy that you're going to have to, Seven of Pentacles. Seven of Pentacles is an energy of like sowing your seeds, you know, planting your seeds, for manifestation. Planting your garden is you have to, actually plant until your garden to reap the rewards, the abundance later. So for some of you, you have an idea, you have a calling in your heart. It is going to require some hard work. And I do get that for some of you, again, it's an older woman is involved. For some of you, this is somebody that is actually would be helpful towards you. So you could partner with this person. You could build with this person. Might be somebody that you could partner with business-wise. But it might be that other people are judgmental of that relationship. I get June and April is significant here. So if it's not that, something happened in June or April, it might be those are birthdays. Somebody has an April birthday, June birthday. Yeah. You want to... 8 of Pentacles. So 7 of Pentacles is planting your seeds. 8 of Pentacles is honing your craft. So whatever you are trying to manifest right now, you need to actually put in the work to manifest it. A lot of people have this idea that they're going to start a business and it's just going to immediately take off and thrive. A business is hard work. A small business is hard work. It's expensive. And it's stuff that you don't even think about. Inventory. Inventory is one of the most annoying things to me. Because people don't understand, okay, I want to release a spray. I have to find the right bottle. I have to find them in bulk for the right price. I have to make sure that they're good quality. Okay, what ingredients am I going to put into the spray? I have to collect all of those ingredients. I have to test them to make sure that they work good. I also have to test them to make sure that they have a long shelf life. How long are those going to last? I can't sell something that's pretty, for a week and then falls apart, because that's not a good way to build your brand. That's not a good way to build relationships with your customers if they know that you're untrustworthy and that your products aren't good. Labels. Logo, labels, making sure that your label is has the right verbiage on it, the right words on it. I get misprints on my labels all the time, and that's obnoxious when I have to order, because I ordered these labels special because they're waterproof. I print some of my labels myself, but for my labels on my oils, on my sprays, on my scrubs, things that are going to be experiencing, exposure to water, I am not going to print those labels myself because they wouldn't last. And I personally, quality is very important to me as an individual in my own personal life. So I'm not going to sell anything and put anything with my name on it without knowing that it works, that it's good quality, that it's something that lasts, something that has results. That's stuff that's really important to me. You have to do a lot of research. You have to invest. I was talking to my mom about this earlier today. I can't put a product up, make one of a product, put a product up, and then wait for the orders to come in to then order the stuff to make more. I need to have a stock in place so that I am ready to go with new orders. I need to keep track of what I have in stock so I know, hey, I'm running low on sea salt, so I need to put in another bulk order. Or especially, sea salt's one of those that I can find it locally while I'm waiting for the bulk order to come in. But there are certain products like candle jars can sometimes they're easy to find from the retailers that I use. And sometimes there was a period that every single candle, like prayer candle jar, was sold out for months. Like, especially with the pandemic right now, some stuff goes out of stock and then you just can't find it anywhere. So, you can't be saying that, oh yeah, I have 10 of this when you don't have the capability of making 10, because if people put orders in and you're not able to supply those orders, that will get you a bad reputation, that gets you bad reviews. And really, as a small business, your reputation, your authenticity, your integrity, and feedback from your customers, those are things that are of utmost importance. This is stuff people don't think about when starting a business. They just think, hey, I want to make this, or I'm good at making this, let me sell this. But do you have the stubbornness really to keep pushing forward when, you know, things get hard, when sales aren't coming in. We're in a recession right now. These are things to consider. So for some of you, it's like you're, for a lot of you, it is a business. It's some sort of craft. It's something, it's a skill that you have naturally, but finding a way to, especially this is all pentacles, guys. This is working on your financial stability. Working for somebody else where you know that you get paid every 2 weeks, you get paid monthly, you get paid weekly, whatever. You have a steady paycheck. You know how much it's going to be every month. That's a very different sort of energy than I rely on other people, you know, supporting my business. It's something, and that's something that I have to explain to people all the time, is that, you know, some months I do amazing, and then some months I really don't. It's very slow, and that's hard for people to understand that haven't truly experienced that, is that it takes a lot of courage to be able to do a business, honestly, especially one that your heart is in it, you know. If you are putting your heart and soul into something, people feel that, but it also requires a lot of vulnerability. It requires a lot of self-sacrifice, and it requires courageousness, because you got to keep pushing forward even when things look shitty, you know, even when it looks like it's not going to work out. And I really think that that's where your spirituality comes in. That's where your faith comes in. That's when your trust in both yourself and, you know, the power of God comes in. I want to talk about it, but I won't. Ancestor work is really important to me. So and I have found this, people ask me about, like, how do you connect with your ancestors? How do you connect with your guides? A lot of it, 99% of it is you can find it in your ancestry, in your genetics. I found personally the guides that I work with, what I'm called to do, it's not in resonance with my appearance. It's not in resonance with what people expect out of me. It's in resonance with parts of my bloodline that suffered more, so they need more of my attention. And that's really hard for people to understand and grasp. So I knew from my German grandmother, my Omi. My Omi told me that she was a child in Germany in World War II. She lived in Germany until her adulthood. My dad was born in Germany. She told me that her extended family, she had Jewish ancestry, and they had to hide that during World War II, that she was aware of it. And it was something that was very scary for the family. They had to hide that. So she told me that, and I knew that, but it's also one of those things that, you know, I don't know, maybe. When my DNA was tested, it showed up in both me and my father's DNA, Ashkenazi, 1%. So, you know, 1%, that does not make me Jewish, but it does mean that I have ancestry that we're Jewish, and I have extended family that suffered quite a bit, you know, due to their ethnicity and their religious views. So I think that ancestor work is important, and for me personally, I try to focus more on the parts of my ancestry that are pulling the, you know, trauma that's existing. I think, you know, part of your shadow work is addressing ancestral trauma. So my ancestors, the ones that experienced, you know, the harshest conditions, the toughest lives, they're you know, minuscule percentages, but they're still there, and they're still a part of me, and they've been carried within my family, that sorrow, that pain, you know, what they went through. Anyways, after that was confirmed, I've tried to connect more with that part of my ancestry, and I'm not going to repeat it, but I found out through watching Ethan Klein and his wife, is it pronounced Illa or Hilla? I heard them talking about, is an interview where they're talking to Jack Black, and they are talking about, like, you know, being Jewish, and Ethan mentions that one of his favorite Hebrew phrases, I'm not going to try to pronounce it in Hebrew, but is with God's help. And, you know, it's kind of used in a way that, like, somebody's like, oh, you know, you're like, congratulations, I heard that you achieved this great thing, or you have this great thing going on, and they respond, I don't want to pronounce it because I feel like I'm going to pronounce it wrong. I don't know. I'm very, like, I don't want to be disrespectful, but my Jewish ancestors want me to say it more. But I felt like it really touched me, you know, because Ethan was like joking about it. And I know for them, you know, they've been raised Jewish. So it's not, for me, it's an ancestral thing. So, I really liked that, you know, with God's help. So I think that your faith is really important here. You have to trust that God's going to carry you through, and God's going to lead you and shield you in difficult times. And, you know, the best way to ensure that you're going to be taken care of spiritually is to allow God to lead you in your life. And I really liked that phrase, with God's help. Because really, that's really how I live. That's really how I live my life, is just, you know, a lot of times I can't explain why I'm doing what I'm doing, or like, you know, what my plan is really, or where I plan to go, because it's really like God will show me, you know. I trust God 100%. I trust my team 100%, and I know that God's going to show me the way, and with God's help, it will happen. Is somebody Jewish? I put too much on myself because I'm trying to learn about my ancestry, but there's a lot that I don't know, and I don't have mentors, and I don't have people that I can rely on to help me. And a lot of times my guides shield me from that because they don't want me to align with mentors that don't have good habits, and that aren't in resonance with my highest path. My guides for a long time, I used to ask them when was a mentor for me going to show up, and they kept saying, you are the mentor. You are the mentor. You don't need a mentor. You just need to remember who you are and walk in your truth and walk with us, you know? Anyways. That's why, like, you know, I connect with certain guides, and I feel like some people can feel like it's appropriation, but if it's my ancestry, and those are the guides that are speaking to me, and those are the guides that are calling to me, and those are the guides that are telling me that I need to uplift that bloodline, I don't think that it's any of your business, you know? I don't think that it's your responsibility to feel like you can impart, you know, whatever your personal feelings are on my personal path, because I'm actually doing the work to uplift my ancestors, you know. And there was somebody that I connected with that we had a conversation about, like, her ancestry, and how she's white passing, but she's not white, and how she's had a lot of people, you know, that are very judgmental towards her when she connects with her ancestry, and how, like, wrong and shitty that is if people do that, you know. It's demonic in a way to try to feel like you have some sort of authority over how another person connects to their own spiritual team and their own ancestors. And if I have ancestors that I have 1% in, but those are the ancestors telling me that we need you to work with us so that we can heal this part of our bloodline, it's none of your business, you know. It's truly none of your business. That's something that I really struggled with at first, especially my Yoruba ancestors, my Yoruba guides. The majority of my guides are not white, you know, and then that's there was a long time that I did not want to even be open about that, because I felt like it would upset people. But I have found that I really haven't gotten a lot of hate from that. I think that it's more self-imposed, but I think that I feel judgment, and I used to allow that to really get to me. And I still do in a way, because I'm obviously defending myself in it, but, this is for somebody. And it also might be for somebody that, saw that I did a post about Oshun today and thinks she's white. Why should she be talking to Oshun? Oshun talked to me. I asked my spirit team in general last night a question because I was upset over something, because I asked them, why are you, because I've done a lot of work and I've aligned with what I've needed to align with, and I recognize red flags, and I stay away from low vibrational people, and I do my best to align with what's best for me. Why are you sending me like confirmation and guidance to establish relationships with people that don't treat me well, and that it's not going anywhere, and that they're dead end situations? Like, why is this something that I continuously run into? And I hate the mentality that, I like the mentality that you're meant to. Sometimes you come into people's lives to bless them. Sometimes you come into people's lives to show them the way. But it feels like, I understand that it's my role as a shaman to work as a guide for a lot of people and to help a lot of people on their own paths. But it's frustrating to me that it's like, enough's enough. Enough's enough, because like I don't feel like I should have to help other people at the expense of my own well-being and that of my own peace too. Like, why have I worked so hard to find peace in my life if you keep sending me people that disrupt my peace, and then confirming for me over and over that give this person a chance, continue to allow this person to exist in your physical reality regardless of the way that they've treated you, because you need to help them in some way. Why? I got so upset, and I was literally yelling. Sometimes I get that way when I'm reading cards, and it's okay. It's better to get that frustration out. It's okay to be upset that things are happening in my life that I don't like. I don't like feeling uncomfortable all the time, I don't like that every time I start to feel comfortable, some bullshit manifests, it's upsetting for me. I literally was having a yelling fight with my guides, and I was pulling cards, but I'm not yelling at the cards, I'm yelling at my guides. So it was hours later that Oshun answered me, and I don't know if it was because no one else wanted to take that one, and she was the one that was like, I'll talk to her. Which is a very Oshun thing to do, to be like, she's out of hand, I'm the one that's gonna have to come in. That's very much Oshun. Or I don't know if she just wanted to wait for me to calm down so I could actually hear her. They're saying that's what it is. There's a lot of stories where there's something unruly is going on, and Oshun with her beauty and her feminine nature has to come in and handle it. I don't know if she was the only one that could come in. But, she asked me, and that's something that I don't, it was really hard for me. I did channelings with, I don't want to say his name. I did channelings with two of my guides for YouTube that are African. Both of them I have ancestral ties to, and both of them called to me before I knew that. And I had such bad anxiety about it, because I'm like, people are going to be upset that I did that. But if those are my guides, and those are the ones that want to speak through me, and those are the ones that I am working actively to heal with, why should I allow the opinions of other people that don't know me personally and don't know my ancestors? And obviously I feel like people that are truly connected to those guides would recognize that I'm being authentic in it. And that's why I haven't truly been attacked, but I feel, you can feel the judging energy. Anyways, Leo, that was a channeling. I really do think that that's one of the best things you can do for yourself, is in order to heal your ancestry, you need to understand your ancestry, because I would have never thought that, you know, I have an ancestor that comes from the Congo and came to, you know, the United States in the 1700s, and that's around the same time that my Jewish ancestor, you know, was out there doing their thing. So, you know, I don't have a direct ancestor that, well, they're saying I do, extended family that would have experienced the Holocaust, but that's still energy that makes up who I am, because you are a physical manifestation of every ancestor that walked before you. And there's a reading where I talk about this, that by accepting less than what you deserve and, you know, questioning your worth, you're disrespecting those ancestors and the work that they did and the prayers that they made. You know, that's saying that you are currently protected by the prayers of your grandmother, but it doesn't stop at your grandmother. You know, it goes all the way back, because especially when you have ancestors that suffered greatly, there were times where, you know, they prayed that, you know, that I live through this, that I get to see my kids, you know, that my kids, my grandchildren, my great-grandchildren, at some point I have a descendant that has a better life, and that, you know, the suffering I endured in this life was not, you know, for nothing. And I think that by doing the actual work for your ancestors, and part of that, again, is knowing who your ancestors are, so that you can understand what they went through and to work to heal that within yourself. And I truly feel that the black sheeps within a bloodline resonate with the harsher, the harsher, you know, karma from your ancestors, because you were the one that manifested to heal and uplift your bloodline. So you're obviously going to get the brunt of it. You know, some generational curses skip a generation. The black sheep gets hit with all of it, all the bullshit. And it's like, you know, I don't understand why abusive relationships are manifesting in my life when my parents' relationship is not abusive. My parents have a very healthy, loving relationship with each other. Well, my grandparents did not. And, you know, it skipped them and manifested in me so that I could heal it, so that my children and their children and, you know, future descendants down the line that are going to be, you know, connecting to me one day when I'm on the other side, they don't have to suffer, and they don't have to question their worth because another person is acting in an abusive way towards them, in an oppressive way towards them. If you have ancestors that were oppressed, you will find that other people oppress you, and you wonder, why does this continue to manifest? Why do I keep manifesting people that are abusive, that are narcissistic? Look at your lineage and understand, you know, also past lives. You can have past lives with people, especially when we're looking at like slavery. You know, some people very much resonate with one of their ancestors was a slave owner, and it's blatantly obvious. You know, it's obvious to everybody that you still resonate with feeling that you can own and possess and control other people. I think that you see that a lot with we won't get into it, with people that do malefic magic. You know, people that think it's okay to bind themselves to other, especially to intentionally try to block blessings. People that try to block the blessings of others, try to hurt other people financially, try to bind themselves to other people, try to curse other people. You obviously resonate with, you know, somebody that owned slaves, truly, because you want to mastermind other people's lives. You think that you have the ability to control other people and get them to serve you, get them to bow down to you, get them to give up their blessings for your benefit. You know, who do you think you resonate with in your lineage? Just because I have white skin doesn't mean that I try to oppress other people. and doesn't mean that you know who my ancestors are and you know who I'm working with and you know who I am actively uplifting, you know. And I think people that try to use petty judgments like, you know, other people's appearances, the way that they speak, the way that they dress, it's disgusting, honestly. Like, you know, even in when you have people that, like, for instance, I've talked with people that have experienced, you know, people that are Black, but they are told by other people that, you know, oh, but you're an Oreo. Oh, you act white. What does acting white mean? You know, what does acting white mean to you? Does it mean that somebody, you know, speaks a certain way, dresses a certain way, you know, works a certain type of job? Why is that associated with whiteness? And why do you feel the need to separate them from their ancestry? You know, and it might be somebody that has taken it upon themselves to separate themselves from their ancestry, but that's not what I'm talking about. It is man-made, and it's a form of separation, and it's a form of oppression in and of itself. Yeah, I agree with you there. There's a Scorpio here. I know this is a longer reading, but somebody needed a channel. If you need a sign to connect with your ancestors that you have 1%, 2%, you know, 0.5%, I have 0.5% Egyptian ancestry. Anubis was one of the first guys that called to me, and I did not want to work with Anubis at first. I did not want to work with my Yoruban guides at first because I felt, I'm a Caucasian woman. Why would they want to work with me? They wanted to work with me because they knew that I manifested to do the work to uplift my ancestry and uplift my bloodlines. You know, if my ancestor that you know was brought to America through the slave trade in the 1700s, me healing and doing the work to uplift that ancestor, every descendant of that ancestor would also be uplifted. So you feeling like I don't have the right, or making judgments or talking shit about me for doing that speaks on the oppression that is coming out in you, you know. I really liked this show, The Righteous Gemstones. And there's one episode where Amber, the redhead, she's with the other church wives, and she goes, one of the church wives, they're having like a church wives like meeting group, and one of them she says something about like how hard they have it. I don't remember. And the other woman, the other wife, is like, well, I mean, don't you guys have a private jet? Like, I hardly think that you're struggling right now. And she goes like, the devil jumped out of you right there. It's okay, it's gone, but let's not let that happen again. But really, sometimes the devil jumps out of people and you just got to recognize it as the devil, you know, that something within you is feeling some sort of way, and you either have an attachment that's making you, you know, act out in that way, or you have you know, something within your ancestry that you resonate with a little bit more. Things are rough. Somebody is seeking counsel because they're experiencing some addictions and you're moving away from them. This is somebody that tried to hold on to you, especially financially. They're struggling right now because they have some addictions. They're experiencing some shadow work right now. It's important to feel it. It really is. It's important. I was talking to my mom earlier today, and I was mad, you know, and I was talking to my guides. I was mad at them. I was mad at them because why are you like, I'm looking for red flags. I'm doing the shadow work. I'm doing the healing work. When you tell me no, I don't do something. When you tell me that something is bad, I do it. Sometimes I do things that are batshit fucking crazy and make other people look at me like I'm crazy. And I do that because my guides told me to, you know? Why am I doing all of this just for you to lead me down situations that are shitty, you know? And I think that that's a healthy way to express that. It's healthy to be like, this is not fair to me and I don't like it. You know, I got upset talking to my mom about something and I ended up like crying to my mom, and I had to stop and be like, I don't need you to fix this for me. I'm just venting right now, you know, and I'm very blessed to have a mother that knew that I was venting and let me vent and vented back, you know, and it was a very like mutually healing situation for both of us. It's good to get that out. Cry if you need to. Stop feeling like you constantly have to be in a high vibration, and that by being upset, feeling depressed, having bad things happen to you and reacting in a normal human way to it is something like you're messing up your vibration. You're messing up your manifestations. Now you have to start all over and bad things aren't going to come to you. It is a normal process of light and dark. You know, you have a shadow that you have to work through, and that shadow is a part of you. You know, it's not about denouncing your shadow and separating the shadow and just not dealing with it. It's about recognizing that that's a part of life, and that you have to recognize that I have a tendency to behave in a way that's not good for me. I might have a tendency to turn to addictions when I'm experiencing strong emotions and I don't know how to handle them. And that maybe therapy would be beneficial, or just finding people that you can trust to vent to. And that's a blessing in and of itself, Leo, honestly. It's because, you know, especially going through periods in your life where you've experienced betrayal and you've had people that you thought were close to, that you had people that you considered family do awful things to you. It's honestly a blessing to recognize that having people that you trust enough to be able to vent to them is a blessing. You know, I can get mad that certain parts of my life aren't the way that I want it and that I have to struggle in certain aspects, but also having a mother that I can vent to, and that is, you know, her first, you know, she's my mom, so her instinct is to try to fix it. But me being able to say, I don't want you to fix this right now. I'm just upset about this, and I'm just venting, and I'm sorry. I'm raising my voice. It's not at you. I'm just upset. And to have her, like, you know, laugh and then be like, you know what? I'm mad too. You know, like it was, that's something that I'm very, very blessed to have. I can be upset that, you know, in order for my small business to thrive, I had to move back in with family. I had to give up a lot of my freedom to do that. That was a major self-sacrifice. And it's also something that I did both for me, for my family, to help my family, and for my pet as well, who I almost lost for a little while. And that was a trauma in and of itself. Part of me can, you know, be upset that I miss living in a city. I miss being able to walk and get groceries. I miss being able to walk and get breakfast. I miss being able to walk to work. You know, I was in the best shape of my life because I like walking. I can't walk here. I would be walking for hours and hours and, you know, probably get hit by a car because there's no sidewalks, you know. I hate that. I hate that it's really hard for me to date right now because there's not a lot of people around here. Anybody I date is going to be long distance. Long distance relationships are stressful as it is. And as somebody that has a history of shitty ass people coming into my life, trust issues, obviously in a long distance relationship, that's something that sucks. That sucks a lot. And I can focus on what sucks. Or I can recognize that I have a beautiful home. I have a lot of space here that, you know, it was unutilized before. I can have privacy if I want it. My parents respect my boundaries, you know, for the most part. The land here is beautiful. My dog is so happy here. We have other animals here that I love and cherish getting time with them. I get to connect with my brother, who we were best friends growing up, and we were distant for a while just because he's a Scorpio. And he's hard to stay in touch with because he's so secretive. So, you know, getting to rebuild our relationship together, getting closer with my family, getting to do little home improvement projects for them. Blessings. I am so blessed to have like a healthy, positive family unit, you know, and it's a core family unit because I have extended family that are hateful and toxic and vicious, and have been abusive towards me. But the fact that my parents are in a healthy, loving relationship and love me, and, you know, they're human, but, you know, my relationship with them, my brother, my aunt, we have a really wonderful relationship, and they are very supportive of me. That is a major, major blessing that not a lot of people have. And I have a lot of peace in my life, you know, and that's a major blessing. So I think that it's okay to be angry, and it's okay to react in a normal way when bad things happen, especially when you have bad things from your past that are being triggered, so that you can feel them and heal them. And having people that you can talk to about that, whether that be that you have good insurance and you can afford therapy, or you have a really supportive family, or you have friends that could listen to you and give you positive feedback and not turn around and talk shit about you to other people, you know. Use your traumas and use something that you're going through as a way to entertain other people. That's a blessing. That's a major blessing. That's not the same. It's not. I talk about people in my life that I don't say their names. I don't give any identifiers as to who they are. If people can figure out who that person is, I do everything that I can to protect people. I really do. I could get on here and say names. I could, call people out. I really don't. I protect people, and I bury stories within a reading. So I really have never come out of a bad situation and tried to hurt that person's image and tried to turn people against them. The only situation, this is somebody is saying that I use it for entertainment. I'm not speaking about bad situations and people that were abusive towards me as entertainment. I'm doing it as a way to connect with others, let them know this happened to me too. This is what I overcame. This is how I did it. This is how I found peace. These are the blessings that I've been able to recognize, because other people can hear my story and connect with it, and it helps them. It helps them heal. It's also helpful for people to identify with another person and feel like there's somebody else out there that knows their story and that connects with their story. That's a blessing for them. I don't do anything to harm people. I really don't. I have had a lot of people that have gone out of their way to cause harm in my life. And the one person that you could say that about was, the person that abused me. Obviously, we were in a 5-year relationship. People that were around me at that time know who I'm talking about. I was isolated in that relationship and not allowed to have close relationships with people that were not close with him too. He controlled a large part of my life in that way, especially socially. So all of our mutual friends, I cut them all off. I had to, because I'm not going to subject myself to, the flying monkeys, the smear campaign, choosing sides. I cut off every single person like that, even people that I had a genuine connection with and I truly liked, because I didn't trust them at that point. It's not the same. I think that I've talked about it before, that YouTube has been very cathartic for me, and it's helped me heal. And I actually think that it's really powerful that people have been along with that healing journey, because I do think that I'm human, and I think people can connect with me and my message and my talents and abilities and forget that I'm a human person. So, I make judgments that are harsh, and I can be stuck in ego, and I can feel some sort of way, but I can, turn around and speak to my connection and my faith and, my resiliency. And I think that that's important. And I also think it's kind of cool to watch my growth, because a large part of me wants to go back to my earlier channelings especially the ones where I get upset and I'm kind of like going off on people. Part of me wants to go back and delete those because I don't feel like I'm the same person I was. But I think that knowing I'm not the same person that I was, and that I was doing the best that I could at that time in my life, and that since then I've really evolved and changed, and I've learned better, and I've grown to be better, because not everybody does that, Have you ever connected with somebody from your past and you recognize that they're the exact same person that they were years ago, and I'm not the same person anymore, and that's a blessing on my part, and I can lovingly let this person go and recognize that I did the right thing in letting them go. Because if we were to have stayed in each other's lives, I wouldn't have grown as a person, because they would have dragged me down. There's been some sort of ending and transformation in your life. It might have taken you by surprise. It is the situation that you're talking about. For some of you, it's with a Scorpio. That's the yes is just confirmation that, yep, whatever popped into your head, yes. It happens so that you could get your shit together. Sometimes things fall apart in our lives so that we can recognize that we were building on faulty ground, That's one blessing about when you find yourself participating in an unhealthy relationship dynamic. It can show you that, oh, hey, I still need to work on that, I still sometimes find myself falling into old codependency patterns, and I have to recognize that, oh, I'm starting to overgive again because I'm overly concerned with how this person is feeling and wanting to accommodate to how they feel, and make, I don't want to say apologies, but kind of, try to see the best in them while they're working to see the worst in me. And sometimes it's a blessing just to see like, oh, hey, I still need to work on that. Or even, hey, I've actually done the work on that and I don't resonate with that anymore. That's a blessing. That's a major blessing. When somebody comes back into your life and you were very hopeful that things were going to change, that they were going to do better, that eventually it was going to work out, and then you recognize that, no, I was actually right in letting that relationship go, and it actually was a major blessing that I could grow on my own and not have this person weigh me down. And now I can feel peace and knowing that that relationship wouldn't have been any better. That, if I would have just forgave them for the 40th time, that maybe they would have turned around. Sometimes it's a blessing just to see that they didn't turn around, There's a soul connection here. It's a romantic connection, but somebody didn't show their true feelings. They didn't show their true self. And you didn't see what was going on behind the scenes, that behind the scenes, this person is receiving karma. They watch you and they allowed their ego to prevent them from following their intuition in this connection. For some of you, they watch you online and they're wanting to reconnect with you. But I get that they have to meet you vibrationally in order to reestablish a connection with you. Because if it's not a vibrational match, it's actually just going to bring drama. And there needs to be a new beginning in this connection. Somebody is wanting to reach out to you. Your intuition is right about it. You might have been feeling that this person is coming back around, that it wasn't over with them. I do get that this person really isn't going anywhere, that this is a connection. It's a soul connection. But there was a karmic lesson here that needed to be learned, and it could only have been learned in isolation. And somebody needed to realize that they waste their time, that, life's going to keep moving. This is somebody that they might have addictions and they avoid their healing work using addictions to distract themselves. And, addiction doesn't have to be drinking. It doesn't have to be drugs, porn addictions. People can be addicted to video games. People can be addicted to social media. It's whatever you are using to distract yourself from doing the healing work. And I think distractions are okay when you need a distraction, but you also have to come out of that and refocus yourself and get back on track with an upward journey of self-improvement. Because if you're not improving yourself, you're stagnant, This is somebody that was stagnant in your life. You broke away from them because of, you know, other people interfering basically. But isolation needed to occur so that this person could watch you from afar. And for a lot of you, they've watched you transform and they've watched you grow. And it's actually helped them to recognize that they need to do some work on themselves. And if they don't, then, you know, they're going to waste their life, because that's the energy that they were in. They didn't recognize it before. That by, you know, that can happen because the people you surround yourself with really affect your reality. If you are somebody that surround yourself with people that are immature, that, you know, are in this energy, I think it's really typical for people that are young to be in an energy of, you know, I don't need to worry about a career. I don't need to worry about like building a savings, about like, you know, where I want to go, what I want to do, establishing healthy relationships. I'm not worried about that because I'm young and I'm just living for the moment. But I think, you know, when you get to your mid-20s, when you get to your late 20s, that's when you start to recognize that some people are really established within themselves and doing big things with their lives. And I'm still in the same place I was years ago, you know. Some people, they don't recognize that until like their 40s, 50s. And I think that if they surround themselves in people that are in the same energy of not really doing anything, not really on an upward track of like growth, they can feel comfortable in that because, you know, well, my friends all do the same thing. We all just kind of like fuck around, you know, we all just kind of live for the moment. And I think that living for the moment does serve, but you need to live for the moment in healthy ways rather than self-sabotage, because truly living in addictions, you're not really having fun. There is no addict out there that is like truly enjoying being addicted. They try to convince themselves that they like that because they don't want to deal with withdrawal, and they don't want to deal with, you know, the fact that their life is off track and the work it's going to take to get you back on track. And I do feel like, Leo, for whoever that's resonating with, there is a lot of work that needs to be done. There is hard work ahead, but it's hard work that is worth it if you want to build something for yourself. And the hard work is something that you can be proud of, and it really, putting your heart and soul into something is a lot more powerful, and working on something and building something is a lot more powerful than just having something handed to you, because you don't appreciate it when it's handed to you, and it doesn't have the impact that it does, you know. People that have been through some shit, that have gone through some shit, and that have wisdom through experience, they're a lot more powerful, and their presence is more powerful than people that just kind of had things handed to them throughout life and haven't really struggled at all, you know. They don't really have the impact that others do. You can feel that difference in energy. And so, you know, the person that has to struggle and fight throughout their life, it's not fun, the fight, but you don't know who you're inspiring by continuing, you know. That's your reading, Leo. I hope that, you know, it was everything that you dreamed of. I know it was a lot of rambling, but I know that for somebody, that was what they needed to hear. I'm going to let you guys go. I'll see you again soon. If you want another Leo reading, let me know. Bye.